Welcome back to Lawyerist Lens. Today we're going to talk about compensation models. And I know a lot about this because I've tried all of them. I think at one point I made my associate sign something like a dozen different compensation contracts because I kept shifting the ground underneath him by changing it. He went from salary to incentives to splits and all kinds of ridiculous things. I learned a lot from that, and one of the things is to not do that. But how should you approach compensation models? What is the right way to think about compensating your employees? Based on my experience, one thing is to keep it simple, right? Don't get overly complicated. The base of a compensation model should be a salary, and if you want, some incentives, right? You've got salary and benefits and incentives, and it should be pretty simple. Now, there are all kinds of ways of trying to incentivize work, and that's okay, but I want to put some qualifications on that because I think it doesn't always work as well as we hope. Now, first of all, you will get what you incentivize in the best case scenario, and so you should be careful about that. If you're a personal injury firm and you offer somebody incentives for any cases they originate, are you really willing to take family law if that turns out to be what they want to do? That's maybe a simplistic example and it's pretty easy to accommodate. You just say only a third on personal injury cases. But you will get what you incentivize. And so if you create somebody whose job is to go get clients, and that's what you really want, are you okay with them spending most of their time doing that, for example? Now, that's not necessarily the most likely scenario because not everyone is really geared towards rainmaking, right? Some lawyers are really good at litigation. Some lawyers are really good at negotiation. Some are good at drafting. Not all lawyers are good at marketing, which is really what you're incentivizing. And so even if you offer an incentive to a lawyer who's not good at marketing, they might not be able to do anything with that. And then they're not going to feel fairly compensated and you're not going to feel like you're getting out of them what you hoped to get. So be careful about incentives, right? I think another way to approach that is if you want to incentivize, give a general incentive, like a profit share. And so every time you take distributions above and beyond your salary, you offer a percentage of that to your employees as well. Or maybe it's discretionary bonuses so that whenever the firm is doing well, you make sure everybody who works for the firm feels like they're sharing in that success so that they want more of it. Because after all, your firm is a team effort, and incentivizing individual cases and clients doesn't really recognize the fact that it takes an entire team to be successful on any of those things. So my advice on compensation is to keep it fairly simple. Pay a competitive salary, pay the benefits that you can afford to provide, and offer an incentive that is simple and easy to understand and that the employee feels like they have control over. And if you do those things, you should be in pretty good shape. That's all for this week. Join us in Lawyerist Insider. Lawyerist Insider is our community for entrepreneurial, solo, and small firm lawyers. It's free to join, and you can find it by clicking on Community on the front page of Lawyerist.com. We'll give you some free resources, and if you're a US or Canada solo small lawyer, we'll invite you to join our private Facebook group where you can ask questions and meet other entrepreneurial-minded solo and small firm lawyers. I hope to see you there.